Today, I reunite with the pond in the middle of the field, with the same goal as usual, to catch more than one carp. Surprise, surprise, I actually do end up catching more than one carp, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be today. You see, usually this pool either performs really well and you catch at least one carp, or you just catch nothing at all. And it seems that I'll come one session and catch a carp, and I'll come the next and blank. But now that we're well ahead of springtime, and the weather's picking up quite a bit, the carp are obviously going to be a lot more active. So I got my rods out there today, and I caught more than one, and I was very surprised. Let's get right into it. So it's been well over a month since I fished this pond behind me, and in just 1 month a lot has changed around the pond. The entire scenery has changed. A big bush of yellow plants have grown. I think it's barley or something. The water level in the pond has dropped about a foot or two, and the place just looks a lot greener. So now it's even more of a tucked away hidden pond in a field. But today I'm here with a goal, the same goal I came with last time, and that goal is to catch at least 2 carp from out of it today. Now there's quite a few carp dotted around this pond, but they're just a bit tough to catch because you don't catch them that often. They're pretty much wild carp. But in this pond there's commons and mirrors. Same with most ponds, right? But there's not very many mirrors in here. There's about 1 or 2, maybe 3 at max. There's quite a few common carp in here, and they're the only things I can ever seem to catch out of it. There's quite a big common in here, there's about a 10-pounder. But my goal today is just to catch as many carp as I can, and fingers crossed a mirror. So I've already got one of my rods out, and I'm just going to bait the other one up now, whack some bait on it, and cast it out into a good location. The current one that's casted out is in the middle there, and I'm going to cast the other one around by the darkened trees, which used to be pretty open about a month ago, but yeah, they're pretty dark now, so I'll cast them around there. And there we go, the alarm is now on, so I've just got to wait for the bites to come. And it shouldn't be too long today. It's currently May the 3rd, I believe, so it's basically carp season now. And yeah, this pond should get performing pretty well. And it's about 17 degrees today, definitely not as hot as yesterday. It was like 28 degrees, but now it's pretty hot. So let's roll on the session and catch them all. And surprisingly, it didn't take too long till I was into my first fish. Here goes nothing then. These fish are not playing around today. I've already got a fish hooked out of the blue. I don't even think the bite alarm really detected it that much. I just noticed the rod was moving, and then yeah, I had a fish on. Fingers crossed it's a mirror or the 10-pounder or whatever. I don't know. It's probably a common. He's surfacing at the moment. No, that looks like a mirror. I'm not even joking. I want to try and get him up again. So I'm not going to lie to you. I actually think that this is a mirror carp. Don't listen to me, it's a common. It is a common carp, sadly. Not sadly, it's a carp at least. I've caught something. But it's no mirror like I hoped. I'll get one later on, I reckon. But this is he's a nice common. He's a pretty big common that looks similar to a mirror on the top in the water anyway. Pretty random. He's been fighting this for about 3 or 4 minutes. This carp has proper worn himself out now. He's just about coming to the surface. So I can pretty much net him soon. I'll get the net ready in the water. But here he comes. I can't believe I actually caught this one. This is a different one. I've never caught this one before, so that's a nice surprise. Here we go then, what a beaut. I'm just going to unhook him and then I'll get some images. Here we go then, first carp of the day. Very unexpected. I did not think I was going to catch it so soon. I thought I was going to catch one today at some point, but not so soon. And I just love catching them out of the pond, because I don't know if you can see behind me, but it is just in the middle of nowhere, and it's just random that there's some carp in here. And he's so beautiful as well. They've got some really nice like bronze, I don't know how to explain it, they've got some really nice bronze scales. They're just beauties. I'd say he's about 3 or 4 pounds. He's not too heavy. He's just a normal common carp, I suppose. But yeah, first catch of the day. Hopefully there's many more to come. Maybe some more commons like this. Fingers crossed the mirrors. But yeah, I'm going to release this little fella now and get back in the water. I'm just weighing him now, and he's actually 5 pound 4 ounce. So that is not that bad for a carp that I thought was 3 or 4 pounds. I do absolutely love catching these carp, but now time for him to get back in the water. Here the little guy goes. Let's just pop him in there and he'll just swim off. Well, there we go then, the rods are now back out. Well, the one rod is anyway. It's freshly baited up and casted right back over under the tree there. And what did I tell you? I knew I was in a good location over there. Purely because it's pretty much an overhanging tree on the top of the water, and it goes so low. And in fact, some of the branches do go into the water. Therefore, it's a bit snaggy, and carp do love hanging around by the snags. So it was ideal to cast over there, and it paid off within 5 minutes. I do absolutely love fishing this pond. I don't know what it is about it, but it's kind of a bit of a seasonal pond. If you look back on all of my old videos I've done on the pond and the thumbnails and everything, you'll see it just looks different every single time. Such as December time, it's just bland. It's a bit boring in the December time because everything's so dead. In the springtime, what we're in now, it's so green and yellow and it's vibrant. It's nice. And then in the summertime, it's even better than this. It just gives you a sense that you fish in a different place every time you come. Even though you're not, you're fishing the exact same place. But it's like fishing a different venue every time because of the scenery around it. And now it's been about a year. It's in fact been a year and a couple of months since I first ever fished this pond. I didn't know nothing was in it when I first came here. It was when I first started fishing about a year and a half ago. ago. I came down with my red pole, which I use in all my videos still, and I just put a maggot on and I started catching a bunch of silvers. I caught a roach about that big, and that was my personal best at the time. And it was around about this time last year when I started fishing it really. All of the crops around the pond had started to bloom, and we just came down with the rods and started catching. It just brings back good memories, I suppose. And now, fast forward a year on, I figured out that there's carp in the pool, as well as a load of silvers, but that are pretty big. Every fish in here has got a decent size to it, so hopefully soon I can start pole fishing this place again, because that would be absolutely amazing, just coming back here and catching all the silvers out this margin here again. There we are, then there's some fish jumping in the middle, only some little ones, probably the silvers. But before I left, I decided to bring a loaf of bread with me. It was just in the cupboard lying around, so I was like, I'll take this fishing with me. So I'm not going to be fishing the surface today, by all means I'm not, but all I'm going to be doing is taking a few little chunks off the bread, chucking it out and trying to lure some carp to the surface. I may even bring in one of my method feeders and hook a bit to the hook. Here we go then, let's start breaking a few chunks off the bread and chuck it around this tree here, because this is where they all used to come up last summer with the bread. A lot of the silverfish do come up though, like the roach and all that. They'll all come up and start nibbling it, but you do get the occasional carp. Because if I can get the carp feeding bread in this pool, come summertime I can come up here with my fly rod. I bought some things for my fly fishing rod, and basically instead of putting a dry fly on or a buzzer or whatever you put on it, I've got this fly and it acts as a piece of bread, a piece of crust, and there's a piece of floating bread. I've got a few of them, and I'm going to come here in the summertime with my fly fishing rod, see if I can catch some on the fly rod. That would be awesome. But yeah, the bread is all out, you can probably see it dotted around there. Hopefully we can get the carp feeding off of it. I'm not sure if this was to do with the bread or not, but my carp rod started to go off to one side and then it took off, and obviously I had a fish on. Here we go, second fish of the day on. It's been 10 minutes since I caught the last one, and I've already broken my record. If I land this one, I'll have caught 2 fish now. Fingers crossed it's the mirror, because it seems like it might be a big carp, because he proper just took the bait, like it went. I didn't even know nothing about it. The rod just went and I had him on. But yeah, come on. Literally been 10 minutes since I caught my last one. Maybe this will be like a good thing today. Every 10 minutes I'll catch one. I'm sure it's just because of the good weather. The good weather we've had, the carp will all be out feeding. I suppose because they're cold-blooded fish, they'll be a lot warmer, so they'll be coming up to the surface more and just swimming around, being active, I suppose, a lot more than what they usually would. So that's nice. And both the carp I've had now are both from out the margin there. Not the margin, sorry. They're both from out under the tree. So yeah, that's nice to know that that's a good location today. Let's just work on netting this fish now. He's on the surface. He's pretty worn out. It's another common carp. Still not yet to catch the mirror, but yeah, there we go. I've had 2 fish now from it within the space of the first hour. So this is great. He's a tricky one. He keeps going down there into the snags and all the thorn bushes, so he could very well pop off, but I don't think he will. He's right by me now, so let's got him. Before I get him on camera, I'm just going to weigh him real quick. He's a little bit smaller than the other one. He's a 5-pounder, which is all right. Here he is then. 5-pound common carp out the pond in the field. Second fish of the day. Never have I been here and caught 2 fish in one day, so this is a first for me, and he's a different fish, so that's proved to me that there is different fish in here, and it's not just the same one coming out every time. But yeah, would you look at him? Absolute beaut. He's making some cute little noises. He keeps like grunting. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's making some funny noises. So I'm sure he's telling me I want to go back in the water, so what I'll do is I'll get him back in the water. He seems like he might be a young carp. I don't know why, but he don't seem very old to me for some reason. That might sound weird, but I don't know why. Anyway, let's get him back out into the pond. Mate, you can't swim back into the net. I think he wants to be on the land with me. He keeps swimming back into the net. Come on, mate, get out. Off he goes. Let's get the rod back out over where I have it casted every time now. Wonderful location that is. I don't know if you can see that piece of bread there and the ripples coming up around it. Over there even there's a carp feeding one right now. The carp are on the surface feeding the bread. That's good to know that they're eating it still. So now that will all just enable me to come down here with my fly rod, fish a fly for these things. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this session so far. The first hour has been great. We've just moved into the second. We're about 10 minutes in, so let's get catching some more. Whilst I'm waiting for more bites, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing I do every time I come to this pool. I always have a walk around it because it's a circle. It's just nice to walk around, but I'm going to have a walk around it and try and map out some carp. Usually there's 1 or 2 under this tree. I've seen some little fish, not little, there was a pretty big roach. He jumped underneath one of the branches here. I haven't seen a carp there today though. I've seen some carp over that side. I'm just heading over to that little corner bit now, but if you come out to here, this is a peg I fished in the last video I came here, and it wasn't very good today. I didn't catch anything and I was here for about 6 hours, but I did see some carp jumping, and they always jump in the same location. It's under the tree there, and that's where I'm casted, and it's proven to be really good today, as I've caught 2 from there. And sometimes if you just look at the branch here and you just listen, because it's really silent out here, I don't know if you can hear. I'll be quiet for a minute so you know how quiet it is. There you go. But But yeah, if you listen, you'll hear the carp coming up to the surface, and they're just like make that little noise with their mouth when they're surface. We're now at this really cool peg in the branches and the bushes here. It looks a lot different from last time. It's so much darker. It's nice, really nice. There you are, carp's just surfaced there. See all the ripples coming out? He's just come up rather snags. About time I bring in my black rod, because it's been out for the entire hour that I've actually been at the fishery, and I am yet to catch a fish on it, so that got me thinking that there's no bait around it anymore. So all I'm going to do is rebait this now and cast it somewhere else. You know, I'm actually really shocked that I've caught 2 fish today from the same location. I literally casted it into the same place where I caught the first fish, and I caught another one within 5 minutes, which is a bit crazy, because usually when you catch a fish, it takes a little bit of time for the fish to come back into that location, because once one's caught, it'll spook the rest of them off. But the fact that one of them stayed there was pretty cool. Second hour's now passed and we're on to the third hour, and I still haven't caught another fish, no bites or anything. I think the 2 I caught within the first like 20 minutes of the session, that was just pure luck. Nah, it wouldn't have just been luck. I know where I'm casting now, I know where all the good locations are, I know where these carp hide. But yeah, the carp probably just stops feeding for a little bit. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, and when it hits 4 o'clock, the carp might start feeding again, so we'll wait it out until then. But seeing as it's been so long since I recasted the rod, it's been over an hour, I think I'm going to reel it in real quick, rebait it up, and then just cast it back out somewhere in the pond. Oh, and some definite good news, the carp are really feeding off the surface. All of the bread I chucked in has now gone, and they're fed off of it. Here we go then, I've rebaited my feeder, looks pretty juicy. Carp sees that, he'll absolutely smash it. There we go then, the rod's back out now. The line's currently round about there, you won't be able to see it because it's pretty thin. But it's moving side to side and it's tugging slightly. It's not a bite, it's probably just the wind on the top of the water. But if that's a carp, it could be a carp playing with it, you know. Like I say in my other videos, it's pretty windy at the pond right now. It's never not windy at this pool for some reason. But whenever it's windy at the pool, the carp always come out to play. I suppose there's something about wind that carp just love. I've only had 4 hours today. Well, I haven't. I've had about 3.5 hours as of now, and then I've got half an hour left. So let's make this next half an hour count before I have to go in and catch at least 1 more carp. I just want to catch the mirror carp. Like I said at the start of the video, I think I said I wanted to catch 2 carp and one of them being a mirror. I've caught 2 carp, which is unbelievable out of this pond, considering its location, middle of nowhere, middle of a forest. Just look behind me, it's cool. But I want to catch the mirror carp out of here so badly. So let's get it. If you look at the pond now, you might not see it on camera, but there's a ripple coming up there. A ripple just come up there right beneath me. It's faded away now. And there's one there, one there. They keep coming up everywhere. That's a bunch of little fish. So next time I come here, I'm definitely bring in my pole again, recreate some old times and catch a bunch of little fish again, because that's all I ever used to catch out of this pond when I first discovered it. It was just, I'd get a shed load of little fish all day long. Of course now I know that there's carp in here, that's just a massive bonus. That's pretty cool. So yeah, summertime down here is going to be pretty cool. I don't know if I will do this, but I was thinking over there it's a lot bigger, so I could bring my bivvy down here and do a little night fishing session. There's just so many things I can do at this pond, it's unreal. I pretty much know every single fish species that lives in this pond, apart from a few. I'm dead curious to see if there's a pike in here, so one day I want to dead bait it. I doubt there is a pike in here, but if there was and I was to find out and catch one, that would be awesome. We're down to the last 15 minutes. I'm so hoping for one of these rods just to whale off and I'll have a fish on. Fingers crossed it does that. That would make my day. 3 fish in one session, that would be cool. 2's good enough though, but you know. I'm now down to 10 minutes, but out of these 2 rods, I would say this one's more likely to go off. For some reason, every time I come to this pond, I bring both of my rods. And either time, it's only ever the cork one that goes off. And I've never caught a fish on the black rod over this pool. All I want is for this rod to just make some movement. I'm going to start packing a little bit of my gear away, but I'll leave the rods out until last. I'm going to bring this rod in first out of the pair of them, because this one ain't had much luck all day long for some reason. Even though it's been casted in a pretty good location where I usually catch all the carp, they must just not be there today. And now it is time to bring in this rod. I don't want to bring it in. I don't really want to go, but I've got to. I've got somewhere to go. But there we go, all sorted. Well, there's my rods, my rod pod, my mat, and everything else packed away. Honestly, this was hands down one of the best sessions I've ever had at this pool. I've had 2 different carp out of it today. Both commons, sadly no mirrors. I'm sure I'll get a mirror soon enough though. I think the only other day I've had better than today at this pool was obviously the first time I caught a carp out of it, which I was mind blown. And then there was one day that I came with my pole and I think it was like I caught 72 little fish within like 3 hours. It was great, that day was. Anyway, sadly I've got to end the video here. I caught 2 carp, which was amazing. So if you enjoyed, please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and turn the notification bell on so you never miss another upload. Become a member of my channel if you'd like to. The link for that is in the description. But for now everyone, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.